Hey there YouTube! So I am finally back with a reading update, kind of a recent reads type of thing. It's been such a long time since I've done one of these and I really need to get better because I have a huge stack of books and this is going to take forever to talk about. I think the last time I uploaded a recent reads book was in May and it's now halfway through August, so as a booktuber I am not doing a good job. So hopefully I can make these a little bit more of a regular thing, maybe a monthly thing or a bi-monthly thing, and not wait so long between updates. So the first book that I read way back earlier in the year is Empire of Storms by Sarah J. Maas, and I read this as an ebook. I'm one of those people who really likes all their books to be the same, and I get mad if I have like one paperback version and then like a bunch of hardcover versions, something like that. So I didn't buy Empire of Storms and I don't have Throne of Glass yet. So the rest of my books are paperback, so I'm waiting for Empire of Storms to come out in paperback before I buy it, because even though I didn't like this book that much, I'm still gonna buy it. Kind of bothers me that Tower of Dawn is gonna be hardcover, but it's fine because it's Kale. So Empire of Storms. There's so much I could say about Empire of Storms, but the main thing is that I did not like it. I have very conflicting feelings about the Throne of Glass series. The beginning of it is really, really good, but then once you hit Heir of Fire, it takes a total 180, and it just feels like a different story. But I want to know where this story's going, so I kept on reading it. The one thing that has been like holding this story together for me has been the character of Kale Westfall. I really, really like him and he's my favorite character. Empire of Storms doesn't have Kale in it. Empire of Storms does not feel like the rest of the series at all. It doesn't feel like the first book, which is understandable because it's been a long time, but it also doesn't feel like Queen of Shadows that much. I don't like Aelin and Rowan together at all. I think it's bad. And just like, there's so I feel like all of the characters aren't who they started out to be, and not in like a character growth type of way. They just seem like completely different people, which is really, really annoying. So I end up giving Empire of Storms 2 out of 5 stars. And despite that, I'm still gonna finish up this series. I'm still gonna read Tower of Dawn, and I'm still gonna wait until the end of it because I need to know how this whole thing ends. The next 2 books that I read are actually audiobooks, and it was 1,000 Pieces of You and 10,000 Skies Above You. And let me just say, the covers for these books are beautiful. They're so good looking. They're all the watercolor and stuff like that. They're so great. But the contents inside of it, not the best. 1,000 Pieces of You is basically about this girl who ends up traveling between different dimensions and is kind of chasing this guy, Paul, who is said to have killed her father. And so it sounds like a really cool like sci-fi adventure type of thing, but if you're gonna read this series, know that it is a romance first and foremost. It's like uses this cool sci-fi concept as a container for this weird love triangle story. You have the main character Marguerite, who's kind of flip-flopping between these two guys, and in the second one she kind of settles on this one, but there's still that seed of doubt that goes through the whole thing, and it just bothers me a lot. So many concepts and ideas in this that the main character just she changes her mind so quickly and she jumps to conclusions really, really fast and doesn't think things through at all. And it doesn't really feel like that's who she is. She just doesn't think things through. It just feels like it's unnecessary plot or exposition. I think it's the sci-fi element and this alternate dimension thing that's really intriguing. That's the kind of thing that's holding me in and keeping me reading, and I'm probably gonna read the third one also on audiobook because I don't think I'm gonna buy these books. I gave 1,000 Pieces of You 2 out of 5 stars, and I gave 10,000 Skies Above You 1 out of 5 stars. The next 3 books that I read for Booktubeathon, and that was We Are Okay by Nina LaCour, This Savage Song by V.E. Schwab, and Voltron Legendary Defender Volume 1. I read these for Booktubeathon, so you can go and check my Booktubeathon update video for wrap up on these, but I liked all of these. Please, somebody save me from Voltron Hell. I read some manga also, and it is Tsubasa Reservoir Chronicles Volume 3, the omnibus version, and then the volume 4 of that also. And I gave number 3 4 out of 5 stars, and I gave 4 5 out of 5 stars. I think I just really liked the kind of worlds and the plot lines and the characters that show up in this. You see Tomoyo show up, which is like Sakura's best friend in Cardcaptor Sakura. So I think I really like the interaction between those two characters in this one more than like the story in this one. But I just really want to finish this up because I love Clamp and I love Tsubasa, and I know how this ends because it's been forever since this has been out, so I know the giant twist in here, but I just want to read the manga to kind of make sense of it because it doesn't make sense. Like, just reading about it, it's very confusing, but it's also really good, so definitely want to finish this up. I loved both of these. Next, I read some more graphic novels, and it was Super Mutant Magic Academy, and this is by Jillian Tamaki, and this was super fun. So this is a graphic novel, and it's essentially just like a bunch of interconnected, like shorter comic one-shot type things with all like the same characters. So it's about all of these characters. They have either like magic or mutant abilities, and they go to school, and it's kind of like all of these like fantastical characters with powers and things like that in a normal high school environment. So it's just like, it's really fun and it's really funny. I feel like it depicts like adolescence and like being a teenager in high school really well. There's like a character in here who's like super important for her to go to prom, and there's another character who is like, they don't care about going to prom, and it's just like little things like that that's really great, and it's all through this like lens of having like magic and things like that. There's even like a funny little prophecy story in here, and it's really great. If you need a laugh and you like some sort of fantasy type things, definitely pick this up. Needless to say, I gave it 5 out of 5 stars. Next, I read Show Your Work by Austin Kleon. This is a nonfiction book, and it's kind of about being like an artist or like being a creative type of person, and it's kind of like a self-help book type of thing. This is a subject that I'm like really interested in, so I've always kind of like been reading and like thinking about these type of things a lot, and so it gave me some things to think about with like the way I do manage my time, like doing YouTube or doing cosplay or something like that. It was a really great read, really informative. It came highly recommended by Ariel Bissett, so I picked it up because she talks about it all the time, so I thought I would pick it up, and it was really great. Gave this 4 out of 5 stars. Next, I read this book that I've been wanting to read forever because it seems like everyone who like reads like on BookTube and like everybody who works in the bookstore that I work at has read this book, and that is The Night Circus by Erin Morgenson, and I love this book so much. It's so pretty and it's so beautiful. So it's kind of about this like circus that travels around, and it's got like magic, and it's kind of this like hub for these two like battling magicians, and it's just like beautiful. Stop. This book is so beautiful and so pretty, and just like I want to go to this circus so bad. It's like that kind of thing. I did give it a 4 out of 5 stars. The thing that I kind of docked it for is that it does kind of present itself as a romance. I didn't like feel the romance that much. Like, I really liked it, but it kind of felt like it came out of nowhere a little bit. So that's really like my only criticism of it. I still really like it, and I'm kind of happy with the ending. It's kind of a bittersweet ending, but I did really like it, and just like this book is freaking beautiful. I love it so much. I kind of want to read it again. And finally, I read The Upside of Arnor by Becky Abertali, and I got this in my owl crate that I got a while ago. You can see my unboxing for that. And so this book is about a girl who just like always has crushes, and she doesn't have, she's never had a boyfriend, but she just has like a lot of crushes on people, and apparently that's just like so cute. She's also a bigger girl, like she's a fat girl, so that's kind of, there's also a lot of LGBTQ representation in this book also, but the thing is that everyone loves this book. I did not like this book that much. I think I gave it 3 out of 5 stars. I don't know, it didn't do a lot for me. I got really upset with a lot of the characters because the way they were treating Molly, with a lot of the problems that like Molly had with her relationship between her sister or whatever. They kind of like, I felt like they bullied her into saying sorry, and they were like, well, you were acting this way, and that really hurt me, but then like didn't apologize for the way that they were treating her. So I feel like she was kind of like gypped on the apologies or whatever. Like, I feel like she wasn't treated that well, and nobody recognized that she wasn't being treated well. And that really, really bothered me a lot. I did like that the reason that she didn't have, like, ever had a boyfriend wasn't because she was fat. It was just because she was, like, not good at relationships. So that's really good. Her size didn't really, like, play a huge role in, like, her preventing her from having a boyfriend or anything like that. So that was really good to see. Also, the ending was kind of, like, the message of this book is kind of like, don't get a boyfriend just because you want a boyfriend. Like, get a boyfriend because you like somebody and that person likes you. And it kind of tried to make that point at the end, but it also didn't feel like that. I felt like the main character got a boyfriend because she wanted a boyfriend. I feel like a lot of the characters didn't take responsibilities for their actions, especially her sister Cassie. I did not like Cassie at all because I feel like she just took advantage of Molly the whole time and didn't apologize for any of her actions at all. So I ended up giving the Upside of Unrequited 3 out of 5 stars. I'm sorry I did not love this like everybody else did. That's everything that I've read recently. Currently, I am still trying to get through The Handmaid's Tale. Honestly, I haven't been reading a lot the past week or so. I feel like Booktubeathon put me into a little bit of a reading slump. I was also sick for a week after Booktubeathon, so that also contributed. I feel like maybe it is not the time for me to read The Handmaid's Tale and I need to read something else, maybe some YA fantasy or just like some more YA to get me back into reading. Oh, I don't know. I don't know what I'm going to read next. We'll see. Let me know in the comments if you've read any of these books, what you think of them, that type of thing. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, and if you want to see more bookish videos from me, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. And that's all I've got for you guys today. I'm Christy Lou. Till next time, mata ne!